I'm Lucy Ellis and I'm doing an MA in the History of Design and Material Culture at the University of Brighton, and I'm using the archive at MODA for my research. In fact, it was the archive here that gave me the subject for my dissertation, which is the wallpaper industry in the 1920s and 30s. I've been interested in that period since I was a teenager, when I was started to collect 1930s pottery, and I loved the patterns on the pottery, and I think in time that led me to be interested in pattern from that period, and led me to MODA and its fantastic resource of textile and wallpaper designs, particularly in the 20s and 30s, which is the period that I'm focusing on, which I'm really interested in. There's such a wealth of material here, not just wallpaper and textile designs, but there's social history, there's a business history, which my research particularly touches on, and so much which can take you down all sorts of different avenues to explore. I'm using this resource to explore something called the Wallpaper Magazine, which was the house organ of the biggest wallpaper manufacturer of that period. When I first came up to look at the collection, I thought I'd be writing something about wallpaper, but in actual fact I came across these industry magazines and that took me in a different direction. And it's partly due to the richness of the archive here that it does enable you to go in these different directions. It's got all sorts of articles. It's got letters pages where the salesman can write back with what he thinks about the magazine, inquiries as to how he should do things better. And it starts off sort of very didactic, but as it progresses through to the 30s, and the science of salesmanship, which is being heavily developed in America, that's permeating over to Britain, and people are starting to look more at the psychology of the customer and how to assess different needs and wants, different customer types. You're really hearing the voice of the industry. You're hearing the senior management who are obviously behind the magazine, but you're also getting a little bit of an insight into what it was like to be running a decorators in the 1920s and 30s. There are so many resources for students of all kinds here. Whether you're doing history, English, business, or any number of subjects, you'll find all sorts of inspiration here in the very varied collections they have. Things really come alive with this wonderful archive.